I want to talk about the shift in morale from before No King's Day to after, and how there's a really, really important lesson there. I have made a lot of videos over the last couple of months that are basically encouraging people to ignore doomers and talking to other creators about how we have a responsibility not to put out doomer content. I've made no secret about how pissed off I get when folks say things like, it's all over, rip America, this is the apocalypse. Well, we're screwed, we're cooked. America is now a fascist state. Give up, we're fucked. All hope is lost. One, why are you carrying water for the Trump regime? Why are you doing that work for them? Why are you trying to demoralize people? Why are you spreading a false message that all hope is lost and we're fucked? When you say it's over, it really, to me, smacks of kind of an evangelical, cataclysmic, apocalyptic thinking. Everything is building toward the end times. And that's simply not true. That's simply not true. And I think that when we engage in that kind of thinking, we need to check in with what has shaped our worldview, even if we think we've deconstructed from it. Why is it that we are somebody who thinks that everything is building toward an inevitable end? And two, we might really check in with ourselves about how if we give in to doomerism, if we think all hope is lost, that absolves us of having to fight. That absolves us of having to do the labor and make the sacrifices that are required of us to save ourselves. I really appreciated Brienne's comment here. It's never unfixable. She left this before No King's Day, by the way. It's just going to take time and work. We need to stay focused and move forward. Before No King's Day, folks were really demoralized, right? The Trump regime was trying to demoralize us, escalating the cruel, illegal actions of ICE, intentionally inflicting terror across this country. We were watching the run-up to Trump's birthday parade and seeing people spreading all kinds of misinformation, spreading their panic all over the internet, saying that it's going to be a military takeover of the Washington, D.C. on No King's Day, Flag Day. That was people simply catastrophizing. People were getting really scared about what Trump was doing in LA, how he was, according to Judge Breyer, violating the 10th Amendment and sending in the National Guard and the Marines. People were saying this is going to be now a military coup. People were really, really freaking out. Morale was quite low. And then we had No King's Day, and suddenly the mood has shifted dramatically. I mean, that's one of the things that I was talking about earlier today. The importance of protests is not only the message that it communicates to the pillars of support under Trump, like look at this massive resistance of people, but also the message that it communicates to people in the movement. There is hope. Look at the millions of people who are willing to stand up alongside you and hold the line. Courage is contagious, and they absolutely are about building morale for folks involved with the protest and about that courage spreading to folks who have not yet chosen to participate, to say, hey, look at all these people standing up. Look how awesome this is. Look at how we are building this huge, broad-based solidarity movement that will have the muscles to flex to take down the Trump regime. And those people are like, wait a minute, all these people are able to find their spot. All these people are able to I can do that too. I can join the movement. I can stand up. So not only is it good for the people in the movement, it builds the movement. It draws in other people. That courage is contagious. And I think like what we're seeing now, what I heard at people at No King's Day events yesterday, what I've seen people posting on social media today, is this sense of hopefulness. We all reminded each other yesterday that Trump is incredibly unpopular, that he is not nearly as powerful as he says he is, that we need to not buy into the propaganda of the regime, that we need to all speak truth to each other. And the protests yesterday absolutely were that. We were all preaching truth to each other. And so the morale today, the attitude today, the determination today is just night and day difference from 3 or 4 days ago. The difference between Friday night and Sunday morning, huge, huge. And I just want to encourage people, when you start to feel demoralized at some point in the future, when things are hard, because any resistance movement is going to be up and down, right? We're going to have good days and bad days. There's going to be ways that this regime tries very hard to crack down, because ultimately their overarching goal is still to scare you into submission, to scare you into giving up, to make you feel hopeless, to make you absolutely feel that there is no way that we can win, to fool you into thinking that Donald Trump is big and powerful and you can't stop him. They still have that goal. So they're going to be trying all of those psychological tactics on us. Don't get me wrong. That's not going to stop. And so we will have moments of doubt. We will have days where it feels harder than others, where it feels like it's an uphill battle. Those are good times to remind yourself of how you're feeling today. Those are good times to go look at footage from No King's Day, to look at how far we have come since January, to look at how far we have come just since April. And then to think about what you can do to level up toward the next thing, right? If we're building momentum, we're building strength, we're building muscles to get us to where we need to go, then when you are tempted to feel down, when you are tempted to feel despondent, remind yourself that feelings are not facts. Counter those really big feelings of anxiety and fear and despondency even with footage from yesterday. Remind yourself that the goal of this regime is to demoralize us. And so we have to have a measure of discipline, of protecting our own hope, our own courage, of feeding it, of nurturing it. And that we need to counter those negative thoughts in our head with truth, that it's never unfixable, that it's never over. They can't win as long as we keep fighting. That Trump's days are numbered. He is an old man, and he is deeply unpopular. The embarrassing turnout at his military birthday extravaganza yesterday is just compounding evidence. The success of what we did yesterday with No Kings put up against the abysmal failure of Trump's birthday parade. Like, that should give you so much hope, and it should speak truth to you in those moments when you are discouraged, or when you see somebody on social media being like, give up, we're all fucked, it's all over, because they had one bad day or because Trump had one small success, right? Like in a war, there's a whole lot of battles, there's a whole lot of skirmishes, and we're not going to win every single one every time. And I think Americans can be so focused on each individual news story that it's really easy to miss the forest for the trees, right? It's really easy to get weighed down by all of these stories that are bombarding us, because that's the goal of this regime, right? To demoralize you through their shock and awe campaign, through their flood the zone. And then your emotions get really heightened. Things feel bigger and scarier than they actually are. And you start to believe these lies. And every single one of you creators who makes this kind of content, fuck you. You are absolutely helping Donald Trump at this moment in time. And I have no patience for you anymore. It's one thing to say, I'm afraid, I'm scared, I'm worried, things did not go well today. But you don't get to use your platform to tell people that it's all over. You do not get to use your platform to lie to people and tell them that there is no hope. To tell people that Trump and the Republicans are unbeatable and that we just have fascism now. And so everybody should just give up. Oh, well, nothing we can do. Stop lying to people and telling them that. Stop making money on this app by lying to people and demoralizing them. I don't have patience for you anymore, but I do have endless patience for everybody else who is having moments when they struggle, who's having moments when they're like, this feels really daunting. Please remind yourself that feelings are not facts. Remind yourself of how you felt a few days ago and how you feel now. What has changed in the interim? Donald Trump was as much of a loser a couple of days ago as he is now. The thing that changed is that you saw a big public demonstration that helped rekindle your hope, that helped you feel encouraged. You and millions of other people nurtured your courage yesterday. And it's so important that we continue to do that. When we are tempted to marinate in our own anxiety and go to worst case scenarios, when we are tempted to ruminate over apocalyptic scenarios in which every horrible thing we could fantasize about, comes to pass here in the States, stop that. Don't entertain those thoughts. Don't entertain those feelings. Maybe you don't have the privilege of having a therapist or having built skills to deal with distress like that. At least remind yourself of how you felt today, what it was like to be at No King's Day yesterday, how that morale shift happened like that, right? And the determination that you saw from folks yesterday. What can you do to get a hold of that determination and to harness it for yourself? It's absolutely fixable. It's fixable. And not only that, y'all, but I really believe that at the end of this, for all of the horrible things that we're enduring now, we have a chance on the other side of this to deal with a lot of the long lingering problems that got us to this place. We have a chance to get accountability for all of the fascists and what they're doing now and all of the ways that they work to harm the American people for the last, decades. We have a chance to reform our tax system. We have a chance to get comprehensive campaign finance reform. We have a chance to have universal health care. We have a chance to change so many things in the future. We get to write that future. Donald Trump doesn't get to write that future. The Republicans don't get to write that future. And we don't have to take us back to what we had in October. There's no reason that we should be going backwards. We should be thinking, what do we want after this? What kind of future do the working class people of America deserve? What kind of future do the most vulnerable in America deserve? And then let's work toward making that a reality and not getting derailed by doomerism.